So I have been a little bit under the weather today, but really wanted to just get this movie recommendation out. I posted it briefly or quickly on Facebook, but don't know if many people saw it and just want to recommend it. It's a very low budget movie, but created, directed, and partly acted by Keith Valenza, who wrote the story of his experience of living with local church members in the summer of, I believe, 1974. So the movie's very thought-provoking. It is low budget, but I just want to ask you to consider what would the movie include if you were to create a movie of your experience in the local church, if you've been there. And sadly, mine would be a very difficult movie to watch, full of definitely some very wonderful times, but also some very, very tragic and painful times. And so I just wanted to post this really brief video to recommend Keith's movie because he let me know that he will probably only have it on YouTube for just a little bit longer. So anyway, I just wanted to put it out there in case anyone wanted to see it. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and I hope that you would enjoy watching that movie if you feel to. This is an artistic expression of what someone went through that was extremely devastating, and not just one person but multiple people who were devastated by their experience in the local church. Okay, much love, and I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy. I wanted to read the comments that Keith left on. Actually, I searched for his comments thinking they were on the videos in which I read his story, but actually they were on a video entitled, the local church considered the biggest cult threat, published in the LA Times in the late 70s. Around the same time that Keith ended up posting his story in a local newspaper where he was living in the Ohio and Indiana area. So his comments say, "Hi Ruth, thank you for sharing my book, which was only published in the newspaper. I tried to post something earlier, but I don't see it. If it does show up, I am not spamming. Anyway, here is an amateur movie I created with some college students back in 2011, telling the story of what I went through in the cult. So that movie would have been made almost 40 years after his experience of just one summer. There is some fiction in it, like the romance which occurred later in my life, but about 75% of it is what really happened. I might only keep it up for a few weeks, though, so enjoy it while you can and feel free to download it if you want." And by the way, a brother did download it, so it would be available to us. He then replied to my reply saying, "My life has had major ups and downs, and I have made numerous bad choices and maybe a few good ones. I am 71, still working in the field of education. I teach at an alternative school in Florida. I am also married. I knew Bart Slauson, and he used to have a Facebook page. I no longer use Facebook, but he seemed to be very bitter about the way things turned out in his life, but that is only my assessment. I was heartbroken when he joined the cult, but I also had a copy of the news article about him when he left it. He is the character named Rich in the movie. Janet Bakemere lived on the second floor of the cult building, and she is portrayed as Wendy in the movie. The cult is named the Faith Community in the movie, and there is some fiction in it, with name changes and character additions to make it more interesting. But the major events actually happened. I reconnected with Janet a few years later after she had been deprogrammed, but I lost touch with her. Anyway, the major events in the movie actually happened, except for the romantic events, which interestingly I experienced several times in my life. Even more interesting two of the characters in the movie, Amy and Steve, met each other during our production and got married in real life a couple years later. They have at least one child now. I am also a musician. My one-man band is called Canned Band, and I have 3 YouTube channels. So thank you, brother, for sharing your difficult experience with us, and just know that it resonates. It's powerful, it's helpful in our healing process, and it's pretty inspiring. It's tempting to want to make a movie myself or to collaborate with others to make a movie. Thank you.